Dozens of armed protesters showed up to Michigan's Capitol to protest the possible extension of these stay-at-home orders. And it's terrifying when you consider that they were allowed into the state capitol. They were heavily armed with military-style weapons, rifles, and the state senators who were supposed to debate this clearly felt threatened by it. One of them tweeted an image saying that the directly above me, men with rifles yelling at us. Some of my colleagues who own bulletproof vests are wearing them. I have never appreciated our sergeant at arms more than today. So this is what people are dealing with right now in America. The protesters were given, their temperature was taken before they were allowed into the building. But it's just incredible because like none of them are wearing masks. They're entering a building with weapons of death. And this is the country we live in. This is what we're dealing with. And this is what lawmakers have to deal with when they're trying to make decisions about what to do to keep the public safe in the middle of a pandemic.
It's utter insanity. We should have African Americans go and do the same exact thing. I mean, look, I get it. I can't ask you to do that because you're taking your life into your own hands. But I'm telling you something out of American history. When the Black Panthers went into the California state legislature, just like this, with weapons, because they had every right to. Back then, that's what the laws were. And they flipped out so much, the California government did, that they passed restrictive gun laws. The governor who put them into effect was named Ronald Reagan. Okay, so you know back then and today that there are two different rules depending on what your race is. So if a bunch of black guys went in heavily armed into the state legislature, does anyone think that they just let them walk around and go up on the balcony and have their rifles that at any point they could fire down? Okay, you say you're nuts and you don't actually live in this country, and you say, oh yeah, they would let black people do that. You don't know anything about America. It's absolutely inconceivable that they would let a group of African-American men do that, okay? All right, change it. How about Muslim Americans? A bunch of Muslims dressed very similar to that, very similar, right? And some of those folks have vests that look like suicide vests. They walk in like that. They're not, but some of them do look like it. They walk in like that, heavily armed, and they say, no, ashhadu alla ilaha illallah. We're here to disagree with the state legislators with our heavy weaponry. You're going to let Muslims walk around like that. Everybody in America, I don't care how right-wing you are, you know we're right. There's no way in the world they'd let them walk around like that. But if you're white in America and you're a right-winger, you can threaten anyone you like. You can bring your weapons anywhere you like. And you could... In effect, what are they going there for? Why did they bring their weapon? If it was a political protest about going outside during coronavirus, what does your weapon have to do with it? It's not like you're making a point about the Second Amendment. It's not a Second Amendment protest where theoretically there'd at least be a slight logical nexus to bring your weapon. No, you're saying, I disagree with you, Mr. Legislator, and I'm in the same building, and I've got you in my sights underneath me, and I can murder you at any moment now, because I brought my weapons here to show you who's in charge. You know why? Because I'm white and I'm a right-winger, and I can do anything I want in this country. Law enforcement doesn't apply to me. It's only for minorities.
And I think we have a video on this that I would like to take a look at. And, you know, I apologize. This story broke right before we went on air today, but let's take a look at what the scene was like. No, this is madness. This is crazy. It's crazy.
Some of them are in fatigues. Some of them do have masks, but their whole face is covered. Imagine a Muslim guy comes in with a covered face, even during coronavirus. Look, African-American guys are getting covered for getting arrested or stopped in this country for going into a store with a mask on, which is what legally they're supposed to do, right? So these guys go in with some with masks, some without, some in military fatigue, some in, I get it, it's a bulletproof vest. I don't know, are you expecting a shootout? But I suppose I get it, you want to look like a tough guy. Again, take out white right-winger, put in Muslim. It's inconceivable they don't get arrested. Oh, you showed up in military outfit with vests that we can't identify, with weapons to point at, or to at least be in the same building, in the same room as state legislators who you're really angry at. There's no such thing as white privilege in America. No, not at all. I don't want people to think it's just racial. And I don't want left-wingers losing their life over it, because they will shoot you. You have to be white and a right-winger. Because if you said, I'm protesting an oil pipeline, and you showed up with weapons to a Republican state legislature, they will arrest you in a second and they might murder you. You could be the whitest person in America, but if you're a left-winger protesting injustice by a corporation or by anyone else, and you show up with a weapon, they will put you down. So just be careful. Only the white right-wingers get to do whatever the hell they want and intimidate anyone they want and break any law they like. Just like the Bundys, who pointed it at the cops, threatened to murder the cops, and totally got away with it.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.